Hey guys, it's been a while, but I just saw a big stinker in the theaters and I have to make a video about it. And the stinker in question is a new horror movie called Keeper that was directed by, let me find his name, I'm sorry. Osgood Perkins. You probably know him as the man that brought us Longlegs and The Monkey. Those are the only two films I've seen of him, now including Keeper. And both of those films I just mentioned also I had problems with, but this one in particular, The Keeper, I have big problems with it. And before I bash it, I want to give it some credit where credit is due. The movie isn't super terrible. It had really well done shots, and it had cool psychedelic like cinematography throughout the movie. So think of Midsummer when they drink the magic tea and you can see like the grass blending into their skin and everything is all wishy-washy. It had some select scenes that reminded me of that particularly. And it also had a really good atmosphere to it, and that's pretty much all I can compliment for it. The story wasn't good. I didn't care for the story at all. Again, this guy, it seems to me that Osgood makes a he'll make a decent horror movie and then he'll do like a rug pull at the end by undercutting what he's done with here's some black magic for you. And it turns me off personally, and I don't like it at all. But here's my biggest quarrel. I see in the if you look at any trailer for the movie, it gives you not a lot to go on, which is good. Trailers shouldn't be spoiling the movie. I'm 100% on board with this. Here, the top comment is after watching this trailer, I don't know a single thing about this movie other than I'm gonna watch it on release. Now, classic horror, if he's anything like me, was in for a disappointment. Because when I saw this, I was really disappointed. And you want to know why I was disappointed? It's just another horror movie slop, sure. But in the trailer, it has when you watch a trailer, it'll say like this person reviewed it, or it'll be like Letterbox says this movie is fucking rad. This dude, I guess he got a bunch of other horror movie directors. He had Fed Everez, probably he's made a bunch of movies. He's made Don't Breathe, Evil Dead, Alien Romulus, the biggest stinker ever touching the planet, Texas Chainsaw Massacre of 2022. This guy, let me find his quote. He has like all quotes. He, Keeper is an experience of pure terror, is what is what this dude said. And then if you keep diving a little further, James Wan, the same man that has brought us so many movies, most of them garbage. You probably know him from Saw, Night Swim, the Insidious series. He made Megan, for Christ's sakes, and he also made The Conjurings. So this guy should know what he's talking about, even though he has a lot of misses. He said it's a terrifying descent into madness, which could not be farther from the truth. What is this one? What is this one? I'm sorry. Okay. The same man, the genius, an actual, probably the one of the better directors this guy got a fucking shout out from. Sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. Guillermo Guillermo del Toro, the same dude that brought us 2025 Frankenstein, which I would highly recommend if you haven't watched it. He brought us his version of Pinocchio, and those are the recent ones. He's brought us Hellboy, Pacific Rim, and he made the Book of Life. All right. I'm getting off track here. A good director is claiming that this shit is horror origami that skillfully folds into itself. What are you talking about, man? That might be the craziest statement to make about the worst horror movie of 2025. I will argue that the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie that's about to come out will be scarier than this shit. I'd reckon playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 on mobile is scarier than The Keeper. And you got Guillermo del Toro saying it's a horror origami that folds into itself. What does that mean? What does that even mean? He's making up buzz. He's just stringing buzzwords together, and the list goes on. The list goes on. Where's the next one? I'm sorry. He has some. I'm not gonna talk about this guy like because he's not a director. He's some video game dude. He's claiming that Osgood is he's a wizard of horror. Buddy, the best thing he made was Longlegs, and that's not even good. And he has a Damien Leone. That's the guy who made all the Terrifier movies with Art the Clown. He's been blowing up recently because Terrifier's taken off. He said Perkins is a formidable voice in horror, and this one might be the only accurate thing you can say because he does get like Longlegs is a good movie. As much as I hate it is a fine movie. Monkey fucking sucks. And I haven't seen anything else, but he seems to be on a streak here. He has 2 horror movies alone in 2025. Not a lot of people get that. And they have a twist on them. So I'm not going to take this away from Damien. Probably the only fair review. And then this one, I don't know who discussing film is. Probably just some review thing that I was talking about earlier. They claim that Keeper by Osgood, what's your last name? Perkins, is pure fucking nightmare fuel. And this one had me sick to my stomach because it makes me think I watched a different movie. Maybe all these guys got the director cut that added an extra hour to the movie and had all the best scares and building up in the story. Because what I watched was actual slop. And here, this is the last one, I believe. All right, here. This one is by Perkins has a natural talent for discomfort that transforms into fear. Now, again, this one is by Bong Joon Ho. You probably know him by Parasite, Mickey 17, and Snowpiercer, not the TV show. Pretty good fucking movies, and I haven't even seen his other ones, but this guy only makes bangers. And he is talking about Osgood Swap Perkins here. And what he's saying about Perkins, if you watch the movie, I guess what he's saying is true, but it wasn't fear. It's where the fear should have been if it was a good movie, which it's not. And what I want to talk about now is what makes it so not scary. So I can see this movie being a little scary if you're watching it home alone and you're like 16 and under. But if you're just a normal dude watching this with your friends, watching it with your significant other, and you're not in like a cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere, this movie pretty much has nothing to do. It's pretty much girl is dating an old dude. He invites her up to the cabin, they chill. He gives her a cake, she starts tripping out, and then he goes to the hospital for a day, and he comes back and she says she's tripping out. Some middle stuff happens. She wants to leave, and then he says, "Nope, you can't leave. You are going to die here." And that scene is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. That is pretty scary. Obviously, it's not scary because it's a shit scary movie, but like it's a scary scene and it was acted well. She's like, "You're gonna die here." The girl starts screaming, yada yada, and then she's on the run from like some demon house. It's pretty much like Monster House, but personified. So, like, instead of a monster, if Constance was chasing around the kids, That's pretty much where it is. So at the end of the movie, it's showing like her talking to his past victims, and then they all start giggling, and then the guy, the the past victims are like giving the guy like magic to stay youthful, and then I don't know what the girl did, but she said y'all are gonna team up with me now, and he loses his magic power. He ages 200 years, and then she ties him to a tree and dips his head in like a jar of honey, and then that's the end of the movie. After I finished the movie, I looked over to my girlfriend and I said, "What did you think?" And she said it had so much potential, but it wasn't scary at all. And I agreed with her that it wasn't scary at all, but I don't even think it had potential. I don't think this should have left the writer's room. I don't think after I'm done talking about this, I'll ever think of this movie again unless someone mentions horror movies that aren't scary or horror movies that you don't like. Or like if I'm in a group and we're all shitting on our shit ass favorite scary movie, or not favorite because this thing is ass. But I don't know if this is a hot take. I haven't watched any videos on it, and all the comments on all the trailers are they're positive for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm transcending horror. Maybe I have a bad take here. Maybe I'm just not as cool as I think I am, but The Keeper is a sleeper for me. I would not recommend seeing this. I didn't personally like it. Osgood Perkins, if you're watching, you need to stop introducing black magic at the end. Longlegs could have been so much cool. It's like an impossible case, but no, Nicolas Cage is the fucking devil. And now this detective gritty horror movie is fucking black magic. I need to kill Satan. Take your goddamn head out of your ass, please. But congratulations on making movies. You're a good man. So, uh, that's all I have to say about Keeper. I didn't really enjoy it. If you did, good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it more than I did. And if you made it this far in the video, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.